everybody drinking from her cup. Won't you come here to America? We can fill it up. I'm American, but truly, I just think I had enough. Bunch of dummies run this country, things about to get rough. Even on the conservative side, you go to these events, you see cross-dressers, man. Homosexuals, people living it up partying. The world drinks from her cup. You are witnessing the fall of Babylon. Don't be surprised now. We are just the empire of lies now. It's looking like we're meeting our demise now. Put your faith in God and look up to the skies now. We are just the empire of lies now. We are just the empire of lies now. It's looking like we're meeting our demise now. Put your faith in God and look up to the sky now. The time is now, we're just the empire of lies now.
Hey, Trina.
My papa told me, son, this country wouldn't fall for by men who run. Get your rifle and get your gun.
I think he could walk off.
Tell them all this when they come.
So fucking serious all of a sudden.
Don't tread on me. Don't tread on me. Say it again. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on me.
Hi, Sean. Hope you're feeling better.
Don't tread on me.
Have mercy on their souls for the ones who trust us against us when they come to take our guns and get lit up like it's Christmas. Hellfire through the homeland. Lord, we beg and plead. How much blood are we gonna bleed until they finally set us free? I'm just a broke man. They gonna have to lock me away or put me inside a mental asylum. To this day I hear them sirens. I know it's coming ahead. I just pray for the ones I love and thank you God for my daily bread. Amen. So hated or love it, it's coming for sure. Loaded and cocky, get ready for war. My granny, my papa, they passing the torch. Only big dogs hopping off the porch with shotguns and thick skin. When the time comes, either sink or swim. Never bow down, we rise up. It's in our blood, we play to win.
Well, just don't point that shotgun at me there, Kim.
This country wouldn't fall for by men who run. So get your rifle and get your gun. And tell them all this when they come. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on me. Say it again. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on me.
Hey, Corner Crew.
Don't tread on me. There's a black cloud overhead of us, and it's starting to pour down. Where the preacher man says it's the end of time. How many are laughing now? Better pray up to God when these times get hard. Better learn how to stand your ground. It's the weak that'll fall when they come for us all. Stand tall and say,
Hey, Trina.
Don't tread on
Hi, Dana.
me. So help me, Lord. Don't
Hey, Deb.
tread on us.
Jess's book looks good.
My papa told me, son,
What'd he say?
this country wouldn't
You ask good
fall
questions,
for
Tammy.
men who run. Get your rifle and get your gun. Tell them all this when they come. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on me. Tread on me. So help me, Lord. Don't tread on us, or there's gonna be a hell of a war. Don't tread on me. Say it again. Don't tread
I
on
talk
me.
to him.
Hey, Lily.
Go get some coffee. Tables here.
You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you.
Hi, Katie.
Jesus, I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. Living in every heart, you are here. Living every heart, I worship you. Let's sing this together, even when I don't see it. Come on, even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Come on. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop.
Getting closer. This is sounds about to.
Zoom call.
Oh, his name is above.
I think we're buffering.
His name is above depression. His name is.
All right, let's get some Jesus. Mickey's getting the Zoom call prepared.
Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. I got sidetracked.
Hey. How you doing?
I like your shirt, Lily.
I know, I love it too. Yeah, it's so cute.
So boss man.
Better know that you're here.
You always say that, you know how it is.
So, sad faces. The girls are leaving tomorrow.
I know. It's been a week. Yes.
Rude, right? Yeah.
Hey guys, how are you?
Guys,
We are
Better know
warm.
that you're here.
I heard that Trooper. Hey Nicole, hey Katie.
We have superstars.
Lily. Awesome. It's good to see you guys. Well, we're without Terry tonight. You've got Susie and Sarah and Aaron. So I'm going to lead you guys in prayer if y'all are ready.
We're ready.
Okay. Father, thank you so much for this night, and thank you for a time to gather together with fellow believers and just to come before your throne and ask you, Father, for the things that are on our hearts, Lord. We hurt so much for what's going on in our country, and for the people that are locked up, that are suffering for wrong reasons, Lord. And we Freedom Corner, they're doing what they can every day, Father. They're not just sitting back and waiting on somebody else to take the lead. They're in those hearings and the trials, and they're there every night encouraging the J6ers. And I just thank you for that. And I pray that you would bless them mightily for what they're doing there. Lord, keep them safe, keep them healthy through all of the allergy season and the weather changes that we're coming into. Lord, just keep them all healthy. Father, I pray for all our J6ers. I pray for a hedge of protection around them. I pray for the hearts of our judges and our prosecutors and the leaders of our country. I pray, Lord, that your Holy Spirit would touch their hearts and move in them, and that change would occur. And we thank you for all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Keep going. All the way.
Amen. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
I hope y'all have a great night.
Thank you. See you next week.
Okay. So the girls are leaving tomorrow to go back to their little adult lives. No, they just work real hard. Yeah, and they do that. So I'm glad that they took time off to come and visit us, and I loved having them here, and so I'm sad to see them go. But the fight here continues, and I'm real appreciative to have girls that are very understanding of what I'm doing right now. So I just want to thank them and shout out to them. Yeah, I love you guys. That's right.
Proud of you. We're so proud of you.
Oh,
I love you.
All right, stop. All right, well, I'll get off here.
I heard an old story, how a Savior came from glory, how he gave his life on Calvary to save a wretch like me.
I heard about his groaning of his precious blood's atoning. Then I repented of my sin and won the victory. Oh, victory in Jesus, my Savior forever. He sought me and bought me with his redeeming blood. He loved me ere I knew him, and oh, my love is due him. He plunged me to victory beneath the cleansing flood. I heard about his healing, of his cleansing power revealing how he made the lame to walk again and caused the blind to see. And then I cried, dear Jesus, come and heal my broken spirit. And somehow Jesus came and brought to me the victory. Oh, victory in Jesus, my Savior forever. He sought me and bought me with his redeeming blood. He loved me ere I knew him, and oh, my love is due him. He plunged me to victory.
How is Brian?
It's good. American people pretty much awesome, you know.
Northern Lights will have their vigil. Make sure you go to their YouTube
You don't have anything.
page and subscribe to them. The Northern Neck Patriots of Excellence. They had their first vigil. Tammy, Jericho, Sherry, Tommy, out there. First vigil. They treat us. And about a year later, Tammy one year anniversary. I was afraid to drive home. I was hoping I would fall asleep. Hi, Donna Ray. Hi, John. Oh, yeah, the weather's perfect right now. Perfect camping ground.
Listen to us. We are the chickens. We are not coming here.
Warsaw, there's this Italian pizza joint. Of course, they sell pizzas, but boy, they're primo. They always give me too much to take some home.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong
Is that better or no?
Hi, Johnny.
For us. Yeah. He went for us.
Okay. No, it wasn't me.
Thank you for the cash.
Jesus' blood and righteousness. I dare not trust the sweetest frame, but wholly trust in Jesus' name.
So we got to compete with
Darkness seems to hide his face. I rest on his unchanging grace. In every high and stormy day, my anchor holds within the veil. Christ cornerstone, we can make strong in the Savior's love. Through the storm, He is Lord of His covenant and His blood. Support me in the overwhelming flood. When all around my soul gives way, He then is all my hope and stay. He then is all my hope and stay. Christ alone, cornerstone, we can make strong in the Savior's love. Through the storm, He is Lord, Lord of He is He shall come with trumpet sound. Oh, may I then in Him be found, dressed in His righteousness alone.
Say hi to everyone.
Oh,
Sure you die, I guess. Put some chat stuff on Gutter.
write to my son words about wisdom and honor and love.
Hi, Rain and Blood.
Will they ever understand that I stood for them? Trying to right the wrongs that evil put us in. So to my boys, I left behind that January day. I stood for dollars, I stood for words you may never get to say. And through the years and all the tears, we may never be the same. So I pray that you choose to see through all the lies that you're told.
Hey, Angelina.
Time, but they can't
Hey,
take
Lisa.
the mind of your soul. They want you to hate, but it's never too late to choose love. So choose love. They used to tear down the best of
They
us.
must be searching for somebody.
There's a simple answer to
Yeah,
what
that's
we
Marley.
must do. Strip them of the power, give it back to you. If you stand with the truth, they'll put you in a cage. If you talk about freedom, they'll remind you you're a slave. So to my boys, I left behind that January day. I stood for thoughts, I stood for words you may never get to say. And through the years and all the tears, we may never be the same. So I pray my voice is all that I can.
Hi, Valerie. Thank you all for joining us, everybody.
They've taken everything except this life I live. So this one's for my poison old man.
Call.
They're sending me away cause I took the stand. I gotta go away cause I took the stand.
I was just reading something from Judge Kelly, and
Hello, how's it going tonight, you guys? Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I got my temperature checked tonight, so this will be my last night here in DC, and I can't decide if I'm happy to go or sad to go. I'm just not quite sure exactly how I feel about it, to be completely honest.
right? Well, I'm
So
sure.
I'm not sure any of the steps from here.
Well, you know, I don't know. I guess it's a mixed bag because you're like glad to get out of DC, but the unknown is a little scary, I guess.
The Vigil's gonna miss you.
Yeah, it is. My case is really unique, you know. I mean, I've shown people the video. They showed it in the sentencing. It's 15 seconds, and they kind of, you know, I don't like to cast aspersions. I don't like to say they did this, they did that when I don't know for certain. And I hope you guys have sensed through the 4 months or so that I've been calling into the Vigil that I'm not someone who likes to make claims. I really don't consider myself special, you know, in any particular way beyond just who I am. I know who I am. I mean, it's just that simple. But you know, they just made a big to do, and I know that I didn't put up a defense, and I know that it was counterintuitive, a lot of those things. But you know, my co-defendants got 6 and 8 years. I got 7. It's right in the ballpark. You know, there's just so many things about all of our cases that just don't make sense. And it doesn't make sense to a lay person, but it makes sense to some highfalutin attorney here or there. And it just is such a it's such a tragedy. And one of the things my brother-in-law said today, he's been reading all the news articles that have come out with my name and stuff like that. Because, when you know, and you read this stuff, and you realize how little they know about what they're writing about, it makes you question kind of everything. So I said, yeah. Imagine being, President Trump and reading the news going, well, that's not what happened. You know what I mean? I mean, the moniker fake news is just ever so relevant when it deals with when you're in it and you know your side of the story is not being represented and nobody cares to ask. That was one of the things that was really stunning to me through this process is nobody cared to ask me, right? Nobody cared who I was till I came into the DC DOC, right? Nobody reached out to me. Nobody wanted to know anything. The FBI didn't interview the people that I traveled with. The FBI didn't include the text messages between me and my brother-in-law that said, what happens if you see Antifa or trouble or violence, whatever he said. And I said, I'm going to go the other direction. Nobody cared to ask those things, but yet, or to clarify some words or statements. I had a podcast. There's a lot of hyperbolic rhetoric. This is campaign season. This is political season, right? So, they didn't care about me. I realized that really early on. And, but yet here I am getting pulled out of here after 6 days. Some of the guys in here are like, oh, they're pulling out of here because you're a talker, because you get on the Vigil and things like that. I just don't know. There's no one to ask those questions to. There's no one to get clarity. There doesn't seem to be a human being involved in this process from the other side. And the human beings that are involved go through mechanical motions, they look at words and they analyze them, and it's like, I don't even know if these words have meaning anymore sometimes. It's really quite, it's quite something. I mean, I keep in my head going over this concept where they say you weren't remorseful, and I'm like, listen, I showed up at trial, and I asked the parliamentarian, the Secret Service, Chief of Police, I asked the 3 officers they brought in front of me, and the FBI, if they accepted my sincere and heartfelt apology, and they all said they did, except for the FBI. The FBI kind of waffled on that answer. I asked the officers that were there, the one officer, did we interact? He said no. Okay, well, we didn't even interact. Did I hurt, harm, injure, or threaten you? The answer was no. Did you accept my apology? Yes. The other 2 officers, did I hurt, harm, injure, or threaten you in any way? The answer was no. So do you accept my sincere and heartfelt apology? One of them said yes. It's water under the bridge, no big deal, man. The other one said, yeah, man, no problem, thank you, and gave me a thumbs up as he walked out. Settled. What am I to be remorseful for? Am I supposed to feel remorseful that I'm a conservative? Am I supposed to feel remorseful that I attended a rally? In my perspective, through my eyes, it got out of hand. I wasn't involved in other areas of the Capitol. I didn't see those things. I didn't see those things until I got home and saw it on the TV. So that, you know what I'm saying? And so this some of the things that they ascribe and they put into your heart and your head and your mind, I just can't own those things, right? Like, listen, if you wanted me to read a script here at sentencing, then you had to give it to me. You can't just leave it up to me to make it up. If you want me to throw Donald Trump under the bus, you should tell me to throw him under the bus. But, I wasn't incited by Donald Trump. When he said we have to fight for our country, I took that as just purely, we got to fight. We got not fight literally, but we have to, stand on our rights. We have to make our voices heard. I heard the rhetoric of it. I didn't hear a literal command. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not what was there. So it's just one of those things where there's just so much that I'm reminded of, and I don't make these comparisons of myself to Jesus. I'm not making this comparison, but it does remind me of when Jesus is in front of, I think it's Caiaphas, and he goes, aren't you going to defend yourself? And he goes, listen, I've said all that I have to say publicly. I had 400 hours on a podcast. Everything you need to know about me is on the podcast. Sedition Hunter said they listened to it all. They said I'm a good guy. They hoped that the Justice Department would take the lead up, right? They said I was the first person they turned in, and they felt horrible about it. They said that on Twitter to the world, right? Created a facial recognition software, and they caught me, and then they felt horrible about it because guess what? I'm not a domestic terrorist. You know what I mean? They said that, not me. I've gotten on this vigil and I've expressed my opinions and my thoughts, and I've tried to be as articulate as I possibly can to share with you guys what's in my heart, the deep love and care for the outcomes that we have. And, and that I seek to be accountable. I mean, I'm here because I want to be accountable for whatever I can be accountable for in life. And, but yet to have that kind of just turned around on you, I'm reminded of when Jesus answers to them in that little trial moment. He goes, listen, I've said all that I have to say publicly. Right? Like, if you know me, you know what's going on here. But if you want to just make things up and do whatever, then you're going to do what you're going to do. And that's kind of how I feel about this situation. is I'm kind of feel like I'm along for a ride. And yeah, I mean, I feel remorseful. I just don't know exactly what for sometimes. I feel more remorseful about my family missing their father than I really feel about attending a rally. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'd have just hopped back 30 feet with my bullhorn, I wouldn't be here. And I own it and accept and am accountable for what happened that day. And I tried to settle the matter in front of the people that were brought to testify against me, as is my right. The judge honored that. But then, you know, they kind of throw it back in your face, and it is what it is. So, yeah.
Right.
I'm excited to move on to the next phase. I hear the food's better, communication is less, but at the same time, I am going to miss some of these people in here that, you know, we've kind of all been in this together, and we've had to endure this time in history that's quite challenging. So, you know, and I don't wish this upon my worst enemies, to be completely honest, and yeah, that's kind of what I have to say right now.
Well, we're gonna miss hearing from you, Taylor.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna miss talking to you guys. You know, I am getting ready to leave, and one of my biggest concerns, and it's the thing that brings the most, you know, that I have is my biggest fear is the care of my family while I'm gone. They're transitioning. They're going to be moving from Washington State, hopefully to Iowa. You know, I've tried to do as much as I can for them while I'm in here, but obviously I get my wings clipped a little bit once I get into the BOP system. And so for those of you, I've said it every single night, but this is my last night being here on the Vigil. If you would honor my family, I would greatly appreciate anything that you could help them out with at givesandgo.com/John Family Help. My wife is currently flying back. She was here for sentencing, and she's flying back with my 3 oldest kids. She's currently in the air, so I'm not even sure if she knows that I'm going to be heading out tomorrow morning. And, you know, it's just, I was really fortunate to get to see my kids, my 3 oldest kids, this last weekend on Friday, and because who knows how long I'm going to be sitting in transit, and who knows where the final destination is. Hopefully going to be in South Dakota, but as you know, we don't always control those things, even if the judge recommends it. So, yeah.
Well, hopefully you will get a BOP close to your family, and their transition will be as smooth as possible.
Yeah, and one thing my wife and I have reminded ourselves constantly, this will end. You know, this will eventually end. This will run its course. And we try to always remember the lilies of the field, you know. As long as we seek to do what's right in the moment, as long as we seek the kingdom of God, which is right here all around us every second, that, you know, the lilies will blossom. And you guys, the members of this Vigil community, especially, I want to especially thank the Chinese American community and some of the individuals in it, especially. You guys have gone above and beyond, and you guys have helped out in a manner that is undescribable. When I got remanded, we had no idea what we were going to do the next week even, and you guys stepped up in a big way, and it's unbelievable the service you provide to the men that are in here, and the documentation for history of kind of the goings-on inside of here. And I know that a lot of the guys, even the ones that don't get on and participate because of the advice of counsel, they really appreciate the awareness that's brought here. And you know, so thank you guys so much for all that you do, and thank you for your generosity, and just thank you so much. I cannot express it enough. My heart holds no ill will or anger towards the judge, the prosecution. I know that sounds weird to me in my mind, or to people in my mind. They're kind of just doing a job. They're asked to do a job that's pretty merciless, and you know, in many ways, I think they've become callous. And maybe that's good. I don't know. Maybe it benefits society for them to be like that to some degree. But, you know, in my situation, I kind of felt like they didn't really care about me at all. And then all of a sudden, one day they did. And it's really interesting how that works out.
Hey, Taylor, this is Mickey. I just want to make sure I had a chance to say goodbye to you, and thank you so much for participating in the Vigil. Even though we have a difference of opinion on the judges and their culpability, but you know,
and I know we do, and I don't fault you for having your opinion on them either, and you know, I don't fault you for having your opinion. I can absolutely validate your opinion, but I just, in my heart.
I'm glad for you. You're able to keep a positive attitude. So good for you, and you know, good luck on your next leg of the journey. And it was a pleasure to meet you and your lovely family. And
thank you so much. Thank you so much. And on the judge note, I fully recognize and cognize that my desire not to go deep into that bitter well is might be for my own sanity as much as anything. So, especially while we're going through this. But yeah, I really appreciate it. And I don't want you to think for 1 minute that there's not cause to be upset at some of the things that have gone on. I just have to keep my sanity about myself when it comes to that stuff. But yes, this is a challenge. This is a challenge for America, and I believe that she's strong enough to overcome it. I believe she's strong enough to right the wrongs, and I think that there's time for the people to start to flex their influence a little bit. One of the other inmates in here says all the time is, we can Bud Light anybody anytime. Bud Light learned a real lesson when they took on a sponsor that America generally did not enjoy. And I'd like to remind the people that are listening, remember, in a big way, you vote with your eyes, your dollars, and your clicks. If there's something you don't approve of, remove your sanction, remove your consent, remove your dollars, remove your clicks, remove your eyes, and they'll get the message eventually. Absolutely, they'll get the message. So don't be afraid to take a stand when taking a stand is necessary, and don't be afraid to vote with your checkbook. That's a real thing, and when it comes to the culture war, that's how we fight it, is with our eyes, our dollars, and our clicks. And that's ultimately what we're always fighting in America, is a culture war. There's a tug and pull between the individualists and the collectivists. There's a tug and pull between people who want larger federal government and people who want states' rights. There's a constant tug and pull. And the way that we fight that modern battle is with our eyes, our dollars, and our clicks.
That's right. That's right. But that being said, it's a shame that American people can get behind a beer commercial but can't stand behind their citizens. So, come on, Americans. Come on.
Yep, we got to get there, absolutely. And there's a line in Common Sense where it talks about until the tyranny touches you, right? Until your family is affected by a prosecution, until your family is touched by it, a lot of times we don't see it. And it is the truth when it comes to the criminal justice system. The minority communities...
You have 1 minute remaining.
The minority communities have been screaming for a long time, but it fell on, in some ways, deaf ears. But now it's we're going through this, and we can make a difference because we do represent the people. So thank you guys so much. Yeah. Again, giftandgo.com/John Family Help. This is my last night on here, and anything to help my family kind of bridge the gap until she continues to get her feet under her, I appreciate it. And as always, you can find updates about us at peasantsperspective.com. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. We love you. We're praying for you.
Yay. All right, bye.
Yeah.
Taylor going on his rest of his journey.
I never seen God's eyes, but I seen the devil's. He walks with men on earth at different levels. He knows the king we serve, so he hates metals and prays that we all burn and turn to rebels. He tried to get my soul, but I'll never settle. I walk this lonely road from the birth to ghettos. I'll take the gift bestowed and return a vessel. I am the one they chose. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rebellious in all ways, been sinner since birth. He knew that it would happen when he put us on this earth. We demon.
Hello.
What's going on, Patriots? How are you today?
What's happening, Waggle Stash?
Nothing much. Listen, two guys. You guys already know about Jonathan Backus, and then next.
Doug White.
Sorry about that. Someone was asking for utensils. So next up is going to be Doug. He's going to be talking. He's also out of here. They got Jonathan Backus out of here quick. So either I mean, certainly, you know, him going on vigil every night has nothing to do with it, you know. I said that from the get-go. But then people look at me like, you know, they got 2 heads. And I said, no, I'm pretty sure that's that. But, you know, he makes a lot of sense. And government can't have that, right? So, but we're going to miss him. He was always a, you know, straight shooter. So, as far as everyone knows. And I know he has, like I said, what the jail did to him a couple days ago on visitation was absolutely dirty. It was uncalled for.
That's right.
But, with that being said, you know, after I freaked out a couple nights ago and told everyone that they should throw their trays back in the hall, because we're getting dinner at 10 o'clock because of this Muslim holiday, and somehow that affects us, you know, when we get dinner. So for a month we've been getting dinner at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. I just had enough was enough. And it started to come at least 8 o'clock at night, you know, so that's good. But I can tell you one thing, what the jail says that they've started to fix, they haven't fixed anything. The IGPs, they're still trying to hide. And anyone listening, any lawyers listening, you can get with Christy Polnecki, because she's going to be taking over everything from now on. She's going to be running, you know, point on that, because she just doesn't. Wish we had her 2 years ago, because I'm sure she could have helped a lot of people. But she saw everything. She didn't really want to do J6 cases, but she came, you know, she just saw everything going on, and then someone close to home said, "Hey, can you help me?" So, you know, she's a firecracker, that's for sure. That's exactly what DC means. So, someone who isn't going to just play by their books and actually get stuff done, unlike some of these other lawyers out there that say that they're doing big things and then just do absolutely nothing. That's what's behind the scenes. What else is going on? So medical still sucks here. You know, they're literally, I have doctors telling me, you know, I'm sure if you just got to the BOP, the marshals would approve your knee surgery. Well, first thing, that's illegal. You can't say that to someone. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. And then you write grievances to P. Campbell, and she somehow still hasn't gotten thrown out of the grievance department. And I can prove for years, multiple years, she hasn't done her job. I know you guys have called the marshals. Something did happen, at least on paper, because it looked like they were forced to do something. I was told by this marshal that, you know, Judge McFadden, the reason why they were there was because of Judge McFadden. Well, that's nice. I was also told that I would be able to sit down with and talk to his boss and go over every single one of these grievances. That was 3 weeks ago. That hasn't happened. So, unless they have something planned at this hearing coming up on what, like the 12th or something like that, unless they have something planned, but I know Christy Polnecki isn't going to let this go. So, yeah, we'll see what's going to happen. I know it's going to be the biggest lawsuit that
DC jail has ever gotten. As a whole, I'm not just saying mine. As a whole, the J6ers are gonna destroy this place.
Right.
And with that Northern Neck as well, because as far as I'm concerned, it's the DC jail's fault that I was even ever sent to Lewisburg, ever sent to Alexandria, ever sent to Northern Neck, ever sent to Rappahannock. And it's Judge McFadden's fault and the marshal's fault why I wasn't even bought. Because God knows John Gross sent in enough paperwork and enough filings to prove it. And I know exactly why we didn't, which we talked about before, because they wanted me to cooperate, and I didn't. But then, funny enough, then Joe McBride comes out and he says, the reason why I don't represent Chris Franklin anymore is because he works with the Fed. His words. I said, oh really, Joe? Well, first thing, that's illegal. You can't do that. You have this thing called a bar license, or a law license that, and your bar, when you pass the bar, you signed an oath. So you can't do that. But second thing, one call to Christie, and all of a sudden there's a cease and desist order, and Joe seems to be not vocal about it at all. So heard me that I said I want everything. What's that?
I was just being facetious because you said you're going to be pretty vocal, and I said that's pretty shocking.
Oh, yeah, not me. But everyone who's in that courtroom heard me. I want my whole file unredacted and unsealed. And I don't know if anyone else saw the glare that Judge McFadden gave me when I demanded that. Because she's hiding stuff just like everyone else. A lot of things are going to come out in my case, and a lot of things of how they've treated, American citizens, free trial, detainees. That's all going to come out. Multiple laws were broken, multiple amendments. Constitutional rights were broken. And it's all documented. So it's going to be interesting to see what's happening. I know I've been saying, hey, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, but we just haven't gotten there yet. I have to say the law works really, really, really slow. Unless you're a Democrat, then the law just doesn't work at all, right? Swapping up topics a little bit. 50 quote-unquote protesters were, stormed the Senate lunch chambers or cafeteria today, and I'm sure they all got arrested, and I'm sure that they all are going to be in the pot above us,
Right.
I'm sure that's what's happening now. It's not like they just got $50 fines sent on their way. But along those lines, it seems that again, the FBI might be a little bit corrupted or a little bit crooked.
Just a little.
Imagine that. And just a little bit. Because it seems that Joe Biden's FBI and Joe Biden's everything that the disbanding of the police and everything else, somehow all of the crime is lower than it has been in years. Imagine that. And it's not just, come on guys, don't be a conspiracy theory or a conspiracy theorist here. It's not just because, they stopped reporting the crime, or they made all of these other crimes, misdemeanors and basically non-crimes. Nothing like that. It's all because just all of a sudden, crime has just stopped, even though Joe Biden hasn't done anything about it.
Well, I know that I
or the FBI, or the DOJ.
All the time.
What?
I said, I know I, for one, feel
I'm sorry?
very safe.
Yeah. I mean, especially in, you know what's funny is I did see a commercial here about 15 minutes ago, and it said DC, like the carjacking capital of the world or something like that, or like, you know, it was obviously a Republican-led commercial, but they did bring up the carjackings, because was it Buttigieg said that he would be perfectly safe walking his dog to the Capitol.
Yeah, he would be.
I would love.
Maybe.
Yeah, I would love to see him walk his dog to the Capitol and someone mug him. I mean, I'm not calling for it, but I just think it would be ironic.
Well,
and in this city, go ahead.
I think that he should ask one of the 50,000 Chevrolet truck owners that have been carjacked in this city alone this year. Just this year, in 2024, 50,000 Chevrolet trucks have been stolen in DC. I read that earlier today. So there's that. I mean, go ahead and walk your dog.
So obviously, yeah, obviously the Chevy trucks are easy to, you know, either A, easy to get into and hotwire, or B, you know, easy to, get to a chop shop or something. I mean, there's a reason why they're going after those and not other ones.
But to say that you would be safe walking anywhere in DC, nobody is safe walking in DC. Come on.
No, not unless. I mean, even realistically, I said unless you're a criminal, but no, them too. There's plenty of shootings happening all over. There's just the one 14-year-older who just got shot and killed at the train station by a 6-foot Mayor Bowser is doing it. But it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm glad at least one thing is happening and eyes are getting open, because even if the mainstream media is working against us, I mean, common sense, I know it's not that common, but more and more eyes are being opened up every day. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for giving us a voice. Doug's up next. Both of those guys are, you know, once they get out of here, their voices are silent. So, donate to give their Give Send Goes, and Doug will be up next. Thank you guys for giving us a voice.
Hi, Boomer. Jimmy.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Someone is.
Here I stand on everything I am. Red-blooded through and through, proud American. I won't meddle in your affair. I pretty much stick to myself. If we don't stand with our backs together, America's headed for hell. Everybody's fighting, and we don't even know what we're fighting for. The elephant's mad at the jackass. He's headed for war. Kicking at the right about your pride. When it comes to protecting God's children, we all gotta do what's right. And all these politicians wanna sweep it up under the rug. Pit us against each other, they must be covering something up. Everybody's fighting.
Hello.
Good evening, guys. How we doing tonight?
Hey, Doug, how are you?
Good. This is Doug Wyatt, number 388263, and yeah, I'm doing well. Currently, I'll be getting moved to my permanent facility sometime here shortly, the next day, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. But I think I'm kind of excited about that.
Awesome. Next chapter.
Yeah. Yep, the next chapter. I'm just ready for the next chapter, and I'm going to miss you guys here. But definitely, I haven't seen my family since February the 2nd. So they just, my wife just, hates this place. I mean, she just hates this town, and I'm with her, so I'm excited to see her again, and see my daughter. Yeah, man, it's just, that's basically where I'm at. A little anxious, but I'm definitely not scared. I'm not suffering at all. I'm done suffering. I'm enduring with the rest of the folks here. So, yeah, it's just my story tonight, and, that's where I'm at.
Well, we're going to miss talking to you on the vigil, Doug, but we are all going to be praying for you, and we're just happy that you're getting to move on to the next chapter. That's right.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm feeling real positive. It's just all positive vibes for me. I know that whatever time they claim I have, I was sentenced to 46 months. I got 39 weeks left, just like the other gentleman here. We're going home in 39 weeks. You can believe that. We have a champion who's coming back. And I just think it's so obvious. I mean, the news today, I'm so tired of seeing, Trump's court cases, this court case, that court case. Just the fraud, the obvious fraud that it is. And, this whole process hasn't really done a whole lot more other than expose those folks. They've exposed themselves. No real thinking person, no critically thinking person, I could say, can look at what's going on and say, oh, well, it's just a coincidence that all these things are finally catching up to Donald Trump. That's complete falsehood. This is what they planned. They commandeered the justice system to attack their political enemy because they don't have the votes. They didn't have the votes in 2020. They don't have the votes in 2024. And, they stole power. And look what they've done with it. The corruption is disgusting. It should disgust every American what they've done is going to replace you. That's why if you live in an inner city, you look out your window, more than likely what you see is just illegals everywhere. They're your replacement. They're not your neighbor, they're your replacement. So anyway, this is all coming to an end. We just have to endure 39 more weeks. We have to get involved. We have to get involved, and we've talked about this before, and I'm sure that the people are listening, they know that, we can't have them putting boards up, over the windows and kicking us out when they're trying to count votes. We can't have, people coming under the dark of night with neoprene gloves and stacks of ballots. That cannot happen this time in 2024. We have to get our country back. And above all else, when you show up to go ahead and protest the fraud, just make sure that, above all else, you remain peaceful. When you start getting attacked by Antifa and the cops, this is hard to do, but, link arms with your neighbor, get on your knees and pray, and let them do it. Let them do it. Let them expose themselves for who they are. And it's funny. It's not even funny. It's a disgrace. that, they call us domestic terrorists. This is what they're saying about us. Domestic terrorists, but I assure you, it's not me that's going to come and kick in your door at 6 o'clock in the morning and train a rifle on your child.
Yep.
Okay, that's the United States government. That's the long arm of the law. That's what they've become. They are what they claim we are. So, not to get on my high horse, I'm a little excited, a little anxious.
Oh, you're cutting
out. Domestic terrorists no more. You hear? Did I lose you?
I can hear you now.
Okay. But like I said, I don't want to be called a domestic terrorist no more. I'm your neighbor. I'm the guy who's going to help you, man, when you need a hand. That's who I am. I'm not all the things that they say I am. So, hopefully we can start to, put that to rest. We can start to get our lives back in 39 weeks.
That's right.
I know I'm going to go home. I miss my family, just like the people I'm talking to. You guys miss your families. And Ashley's mom, how do we make her whole again? So few of us have laid such a sacrifice on the altar of freedom, and yet, she didn't go and crawl away. She stood her ground. There she is, still. Just speaking the truth. I mean, the truth has power, and I'm glad that you guys are standing in our corner and continuing to represent us. You got a line to the 47th president. And I'm glad to support him. I don't feel funny supporting him. I want to get my country back. I just want to go back to work. I want to go back to my family. I want Ukrainians to stop being slaughtered, so these people will stop laundering money that we don't have. Just want to get back to some normalcy. I'm hoping that the next election brings that, but I'm no fool either. I know that as hard as we're going to have to fight up to November, just November to January, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult. You're going to see the anarchists and the communists out in the street, and they're not going to be the Trump supporters. They're going to be the real anarchists and the real communists. They're not going to go quietly. So be prepared. Yeah. Be prepared, but don't be scared of it either. Well, put your head up high.
We already see some of that in this city. And, this is Mickey. I just want to make sure I got a chance to say goodbye to you and wish you good luck and tell you thank you for participating in the vigil. And, I hope you land where you want to go.
Yay.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much, Nikki. I want to read a little something here from this book that was sent in to us called Conversations with God. This is book 2 from Neil Donald Walsh. And it just kind of makes me feel what's going on. This is God talking to the guy. And, he's saying to feel your feelings, to cry your cries. God talking. Laugh your laughs, honor your truth. Yet when all the emotion is done, still know that I am God. In other words, in the midst of the greatest tragedy, see the glory of the process. Even as you die with a bullet through your chest. No, this sounds like an impossible thing to do, yet when you move to God consciousness, you can do it. You don't have to do it, of course. It depends on how you wish to experience a moment. In a moment of great tragedy, the challenge always is to quiet the mind and move deep within the soul. You automatically do this when you have no control. Have you ever talked with a person who has accidentally ran a car off a bridge or found himself facing a gun or nearly drowned? Often they will tell you that time slows way down and that they are overcome by a curious calm, that there is no fear at all. Fear not, I am with you. That is the poetry that I have to say to the person facing tragedy. In your darkest hour, I will be your light. In your blackest moment, I will be your consolation. In the most difficult and trying time, I will be your strength. Therefore have faith, for I am your shepherd. You shall not want. I will cause you to lie down in green pastures. I will lead you beside still waters. I will restore your soul and lead you into the path of righteousness for my name's sake. And ye, though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you will not fear no evil, for I am with you. My rod and my staff will comfort you. I am preparing a table before you in the presence of your enemies. I shall anoint your head with oil. Your cup will run over. Surely goodness and mercy will follow you all through the days of your life, and you will dwell in my house and my heart forever. That is who has our back. And no, I do not fear their wickedness. I do not fear their lies. So when you see that TV and they're telling you, oh, you know, Trump and these court cases, all this. Just remember, it's not, you know, I support Donald Trump, but I worship my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and he sees what's going on. He sees the evil, and he sees the wickedness. He has our back. You know, we stand with truth. So, you know, they got us 4 years ago in 2021. They're not going to get us this time. It's not even that we fear the vote. I mean, who's really fearing that they're going to outvote us? You're not in fear of your neighbor. It's the authoritarian government, the deep state, and all their lies and all their tricks. That's all they have. But we worship the almighty, the all-powerful God. And sometimes you don't see the way. He'll make a way. He'll make a way. Donald Trump is coming back in 2024, and we have the votes, and this is what it looks like to take back the country. It's not going to be easy, but stay the course, Patriots. Stay the course, because, you know, here we come. So that's what I want to leave you with, is just the confidence that, you know, we stand with the truth. You know, we are the righteous ones. And that they can do all the tricks and have all the media and all the lies that they want, but that's all they have. They have lies. They have lies like, what's the guy's name who had the 50 people sign the letter? Anthony Blinken. Yeah, that's who they got. A bunch of Anthony Blinkens running around and getting people to sign their names to a lie. That's who they are, and they've showed themselves. So, you know, anyway, that's my story. That's my spiel for tonight, and I truly stand before you unafraid. It's been a pleasure knowing you guys. It's been a pleasure seeing the support, you know, that we have here, and you know, just thank you. I just wish to have a feeling of gratitude, for what you guys have done for all of us.
Well, thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Doug. God bless you.
God bless you.
So anyway, yep, that's the story. So I'm gonna go ahead and I guess let's see how much time I got here. Okay, I got about 2 minutes. So what do you guys think? Am I on to something? Are you feeling positive out there and patriotic?
I'm feeling positive and patriotic right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. And hopefully the people listening to this just get involved. I mean, you know, you can't, you know, go and watch the polls. You know, send $25 to, you know, the RNC or Donald Trump himself. And, you know, above all, man, just keep praying. I mean, keep praying and be positive. You know, we have this thing called the collective consciousness and the power of prayer. You know, we don't want Donald Trump to win. Donald Trump's going to win. I don't want to go home in January 2025. I'm going home. I'm going home in January 2025 because God is willing. Donald Trump's going to make it happen, and we're going to start the process of just putting the country back together. Our inner cities are a mess, and we have a lot of struggling Americans. We need to stop shipping our money overseas, and we need to put our country back together. You know, we can argue about all the nonsense later, but for right now, we need to join forces and just get our country back.
Amen. I totally agree, Doug. Thank you so much for your words.
And you know, just be peaceful. You know, and you guys are peaceful. And you see the nonsense out there. You guys are setting the example. I mean, look at all what you've been through. And there you are, still putting in work. You got the mosquitoes out there making a mess. I've never heard y'all say, you know, one bad word, not to me anyway, about the folks. In fact, we pray for them. You know, we don't hate nobody. We pray for them. We are the peaceful movement that loves this country, that loves our neighbor. And, you know, here we come, 2024. You know, go Trump, you know. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you with that.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Wish me and John Pockets, or Taylor John Pockets well. And, you know, we're on to the next part of our journey.
Good luck, guys.
We'll be praying for you.
God bless you, Doug.
We'll be praying for you.
God bless you, Patriot.
God bless you guys. Have a good night.
You too, Doug. He is a nice guy.
And we don't even know what we're fighting for. The elephant's mad at the jackass. Liberty's headed for war. The left wing's kicking at the right wing. And the bird ain't flying no more.
wanted to take questions from anybody out there again. That was definitely one of my favorite things to do on the Vigil, and that would be the best send off for me, was to be able to, talk with you guys. And if anybody out there has anything they want to say to me or ask a question, this is your last chance to do it.
Any questions, guys? I mean, they're all typing right now, so give them a second.
Okay, no worries. No worries. Yeah, one of my favorite things to do has been able to do Friday night questions with you guys. You guys have had some good ones, and gives me a chance to think on my feet. I've just loved it. It's just something I've looked forward to every week since I started doing it.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but Rebecca was asking me, when you leave here, the money that you have, like, on your commissary and on the tablet and stuff, are you going to get that money? Is that going to follow you, or does your family have to claim that, or how does that work?
My understanding is someone has to claim it, and it's a pain in the butt.
It is kind of
so that's what I've.
I wanted to let you answer that question, but I knew the answer already.
Yeah. It's your money. It's your money. You can claim it, but it's just a process, pain in the butt, paperwork. It's probably going to take, like everything with these places, hours on the phone.
Well, what I've noticed so far is that the money is actually easier to claim than the property.
Oh, interesting. Go figure.
Property, for some reason, is very difficult sometimes, but they've gotten a lot better, and I think that because they've dealt with me so many times now, they're like, oh, it's that girl. So.
Yeah, well, good. I've got some property that I'm going to have you claim, and family's going to pay to have shipped home, so glad to hear that.
No problem.
Thanks, Tammy.
Oh, and then another, this isn't a question, but more of a statement that you may not know this, but because you haven't gone into the BOP yet, but once you get to the BOP, obviously you have to leave everything behind that you have here. And it does cost anywhere from $300 to $500 for them to get everything they need once they get to the BOP. So that is something to consider, when thinking about donating to Taylor's family.
Yeah, it's incredibly expensive. Somebody that I was sitting in a holding cell with has been here for 3 years, and he was saying that he spent $15,000 on commissary in 3 years. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money when you're sitting unproductively in a cell. So it is.
Especially when the commissary is literally vending machine food. Yeah.
It really is. It's just a travesty. It's one of those things I will never forget it, and I will lobby to have it changed when I'm through with this, because it's not right. We're humans, we're not animals, and to be treated like animals, hurting us around is one thing, but when you feed us junk, it's just insult to injury.
Right, it is adding insult to injury, because not only do you not get any kind of medical care, they won't allow you to buy like vitamins or anything like that on commissary, and then they feed you this processed junk that's all just chemicals, and it's not even real food.
Everything we buy on the package is bioengineered ingredients, and that's not my style.
Yeah, me neither.
It's very frustrating.
Any other questions, shout-outs, things you want to say? Oh, you look like you want to say something. Here she comes.
Okay, well, I'm not sure if you were able to hear that a 3 Democrat judge DC appellate court, they declared that the U.S. Capitol is no longer the people's house.
Oh, wow.
They are saying that this comes about because of a Jan 6 defendant's appeal about the parading in the Capitol. And so, I mean, what do you think about this ruling that they are saying that it is not open to actually the public?
Did they, it doesn't surprise me. I'm curious if they put a new label on it. I think the People's House has long since become kind of a colloquial title, and they control they control it like a national park. unfortunately. So the people collectively, it's our house, but it's no people's house individually, except the speakers or the Senate Majority Leaders, whoever's in charge of their win.
Debbie B wants to know his favorite.
Honestly, Reed Christensen used the word alchemy. This is the alchemy situation. If it's the people's house and we are the people, then we have a right to redress our grievances inside that building. And this is just a way to wordplay away from that fact. And it doesn't surprise me. I mean, this is what lawyers do. They use word alchemy and they change the meaning of words, or they use a different meaning entirely. This is one of my big things, using Black's Law Dictionary versus Oxford English or Merriam-Webster's. You have the language of the dead, the language of the contract, and then you have the language of the living. And they're similar, but they're different. There's legalese and then there's English, and you have to understand the difference. And I think that was I haven't read the opinion or anything, but just from what you're telling me, it just sounds like more of the same. The way of relabeling what the House is, put it into the jurisdiction of the Speaker of the House, and he or she is the representation of the people. Therefore, it's the people's house embodied in those representatives only. So it's too bad, but yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, no, it's not surprising. They said the three-judge panel said that he did not show that the Capitol buildings are a public forum. The challenge provision needed only to be reasonable in light of the government's interest in undisturbed use of the Capitol buildings for their legislative purposes. So yes, in a way, that's exactly what they're doing. We do have another question, Taylor. One of our viewers out there would like to know, what was your favorite moment in the Gulag and what was your least favorite moment?
My favorite moment, and I can't remember his name, but it was talking to one of the Chinese Americans that talked to me about the Year of the Dragon. That was a moment where I knew that I was making a difference in some small way. That was probably my favorite moment of the entire time here. There's still a lot of ups and downs. Like I say, you never get higher than a 4 when you're in jail. But that moment, it just made me realize that my voice had meaning and it was touching people. And that was probably the highlight of my whole time here. It kind of made it worth speaking out and saying what I said, simply because that was when I realized that people were actually listening and paying a little bit of attention. And I hope in some way there are others out there as well that were touched. Again, I feel very insignificant in all of this, but I just try to do what's right in the moment. And that was a moment where I got a little bit of feedback that let me know that, that I was striking a chord. And in some way, I feel like, when I went through sentencing and they made such a big deal and they posted some of the things that I've written, and it was like, those things needed to be said, and I couldn't say them in court, but they did it for me, and they really didn't like it because I felt like, in a way, I was saying the truth. The objective. This is the way our system is set up, and this is how it works. And things like you have a choice in everything on how you reply. Things like common sense apply today. Those things had meaning enough that the government took notice, and you guys took notice as well. So that was probably the highlight for me.
Taylor, our viewer Dora May says, "You've been a great inspiration, Taylor. Your faith is a great example of God's grace. Peace be with you, brother."
Thank you. Thank you so much. And please pray for me and my family. Those prayers do matter, and they count. Thank you guys so much. And you women that run this vigil day after day, you guys are in my prayers, and you guys are about a very important task. Don't give up, never quit, and in the end, we will have the accountability that we seek, and you guys are a huge part of that. And to Donald Trump, if you're listening, we love you. We want you to be successful, and we want our country to be successful.
Amen.
One of the questions we ask all the time is, you call us hostages, what was the ransom? I hope it was worth it.
Yeah.
I hope it was worth it. Make it worth it. Whatever that ransom was, I hope it was worth it, because it disturbed a lot of us, and we went there on that day because you invited us. And, things happened. What happened. But at the end of the day, we support you, we support the conservative movement, and remember, we still support you even now. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Taylor.
I've got to hang up now. They told me to hang up at 8:45. As always, again, you guys, any last little bit would help my family. getsandgo.com/John Family Help. And you can keep up with my family and where I end up and all that kind of stuff at peasantsperspective.com. Go bookmark it and stay up to date with the updates as they come. So thank you guys so much.
Don't worry.
Yeah, you can connect to his peasants perspective. There's a link on 4Ashli. I also want to remind everybody that, I think that our viewers have made such a huge difference in the lives of these men inside with their commissary, with their letters, with their visitation. But once the men go into BOP, they don't have as much support. They don't have as much commissary. They don't have as much phone time or tablet time. So if you could keep them in your hearts and keep them in your minds, and please don't forget our men in the BOP.
Yes.
Write them letters, maybe if you can afford to put money on their commissary, or just let them know in some small way that America's not forgotten them as well, because it's hard when they move on from here. They're used to the camaraderie and all the support they have from each other and from us here, and then they go into the system and they are often very much lost. So please don't forget our men and women in the BOP.
Yes.
That's right, because Tammy's about to come up here and do the roll call, and so many that are on this roll call and detained, and many just like Taylor Jonatakis, they're charged with this 1512C2 charge that holds a lot of weight when it comes to sentencing. And we are going to be in front of the Supreme Court, standing in prayer and solidarity while the Supreme Court justices make and hear the argument on this obstruction charge. Over 300 Jan 6ers are charged with this charge. Like I said, it does hold a weight of 20 years. President Trump is also charged with it. And we're going to be out there April 16th at 9 a.m. It's always, super scary for these guys when they leave to go to BOP, just like we were talking about. So when you go to Patriot Mail Project, make sure that you check the updates and see where these guys and gals have gone. And they are so great about updating it. They work tirelessly to do it. And, we really appreciate all the work that's put into it.
Deb says Jacob Zirkle's missing in the system for over a week. Not sure where he is. So if anybody gets word on that.
Okay, Jacob Zirkle has been missing out of the system. It doesn't say in BOP custody or in anywhere.
That's just the word I'm getting from our
All right,
from
so
our
if
viewers,
anyone knows where Jacob Zirkle may be
missing in the system,
y'all reach out to us. And if y'all can make it to DC to be with us, to stand in solidarity, it does mean a lot. Not just to my family, it means a lot to over 300 Jan 6 families and future generations of protest if you really want to get down to it. So we pray that they listen to the argument and the right decision is made.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nicole. For those lives lost on January 6th, Ashley Babbitt, Roseanne Boylan, Kevin Greason, Benjamin Phillips, and on the following day, Officer Brian Sicknick, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
For those detained, Justin Adams, Tommy Allen, Chris Albert, Russell Alford, Francis Azari, Joseph Azari, Noah Bacon, Edward Medallion, Daniel Ball, Thomas Ballard, Cynthia Ballinger, Logan Barnard, Richard Barnett, Colleen Bauer, Julio Bequero, Matthew Bedingfield, Luke Bender, Joe Biggs, Hayden Billiard, Craig Bingard, Joshua Black, Kenneth Bonowitz, Dominic Bach, Brandon Bradshaw, Jeffrey Brown, Jeremy Brown, Mark Brew, Jennifer Bourgeois, Daniel Caldwell, William Calhoun, Jared Cantrell, Sarah Carpenter, Ralph Salento, Jacob Clark, Kel Clayton, Stephen Capuccio, Billy Cressman, Reed Christensen, Dylan Cronin, Josiah Colt, Mason Corson, Bruno Kua, Matthew De Silva, Nicholas DiCarlo, Nathan DeGrave, David Dempsey, Lucas Jenny, Robert Dennis, Timothy Jargon, Michael Dickinson, Caleb Dillard, Joshua Doolin, Michael Eckerman, James Elliott, Daniel Egbett, Brandon Fellows, Samuel Fisher, Kyle Fitzsimon, Kevin Galetto, Mitchell Gardner, Larry Giberson, Robert Gieswein, David Keatson, Vincent Gillespie, Vitaly Goshchenkowski, Jeffrey Grace, Jonathan Grace, James Grant, Leslie Gray, Matthew Green, Brian Gunderson, Joseph Hackett, Stacey Hager, Johnny Harris, Richard Harris, Joshua Haynes, Donald Hazard, Albuquerque Head, Joshua Hernandez, Eric Herrera, Joseph Howe, Joshua Hughes, Jared Hughes, Joseph Hutchinson, Matthew Huddle, Tracy Isaacs, Brian Jackson, Shane Jenkins, Justin Jersey, Joshua Johnson, Zachary Johnson, Taylor Jonatakis, David Judd, Riley Casper, Leo Kelly, Julian Qatar, Federico Klein, Matthew Kroll, Felicia Knoll, Nicholas Langren, Daniel Leeden, Joseph Leeden, Guy Liu, Michael Lockwood, Joshua Lawler, Kevin Lyons, Marcus Malley, Christian Manley, Anthony Macedano, Cody Matisse, Christopher Maurer, Mark Mazza, Ronald Maccabee, Patrick McCoffey, James McGrew, Sean McHugh, Jeffrey McKellop, James McNamara, Connie Meggs, Kelly Meggs, Jonathan Mellis, Rodney Millstreet, Matthew Miller, Scott Miller, Jordan Mink, Robert Menuda, Landon Mitchell, David Marshall, Andrew Morgan, Robert Morse, Jonathan Menifo, Eric Munchell, Clayton Mullins, Peter Navarro, Daryl Neely, Ryan Nichols, Kirsten Niemela, Gregory Nix, Ethan Nordine, Nicholas Ox, Grady Owens, Jason Owens, Joseph Padilla, Robert Palmer, Stuart Parks, Nathan Pelham, Michael Perkins, Dominic Pizzola, Daniel Phipps, Jonathan Pollock, Olivia Pollock, Mark Ponda, Rachel Powell, Sean Price, Joshua Pruitt, Joseph Pavlik, Chris Quaglin, Barry Ramey, James Rom, Guy Reffitt, Zach Reel, Mariana Reiner, David Ryan, Stuart Rhodes, Howard Richardson, Ed Richmond, George Riley, Thomas Robertson, Michael Roberts, Michael Roche, Jonathan Rockhold, Edward Rodriguez, Daniel Rodriguez, Greg Rubenacker, Bobby Russell, Jeffrey Sable, Brian Samsel, Ronald Sandlin, Salvador Sandoval, Robert Sanford, Anthony Sargent, Peter Schwartz, Benjamin Schuler, Daniel Scott, Christian Sikor, Kevin Seafried, Alexander Shepard, Thomas Sibick, Jeffrey Stills, Mikhail Sly, Charles Smith, Tommy Smith, Audrey Southard, Hatchet Speed, Yvonne St. Cyr, Peter Stager, Shelley Stalling, Patrick Stedman, Laura Steele, Tristan Stevens, John Strand, Tara Stottlemyre, Isaac Sturgeon, Alan Swinney, Ryan Swoop, Andrew Taki, Enrique Tario, Curtis Tate, George Cheney, Jacob Pears, Kenneth Thomas, Devlin Thompson, Justin Thompson, John Todd, Edward Vallejo, Salvatore Pistolo, Jessica Watkins, William Watson, Matthew Webler, Thomas Webster, Bradley Weeks, Jack Witten, Anthony Williams, Riley Williams, Timothy Williams, Duke Wilson, Ricky Wilden, Shane Woods, Donnie Wren, John Wright, Douglas Wyatt, Gregory Etman, Isaac Yoder, Kyle Young, and Jacob Zirkle. And those we've lost to suicide: Christopher Georgia, Matthew Perna, Mark Unks, and Jordan Meacham. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Let's say her name.
Ashley Babbitt! Ashley Babbitt! Ashley Babbitt! Ashley Babbitt!
from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hello.
Hello. How's everybody doing today?
We're doing good. We're a little sad because Jonah took us and Wyatt are leaving, but you know that's all.
Yeah.
We're gonna miss him.
Sad news. It's always sad when you see guys leave the old pond, man.
Yeah.
Especially, they were involved in a lot of stuff that we did.
It's also even sadder there'll be somebody to take their place any minute now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is sad. I'm always happy to see new guys in, but it's always like, man, another guy got caught. It's always, you know, a sad thing, but also yeah. So I guess they'll be hauling him out about 3 in the morning. They'll be leaving out. I'm not sure if they're going. 3 minutes!
1 minute!
3 minutes.
3 minutes!
3 minutes. Pass it back.
3 minutes!
3 minutes. Oh, yeah.
So, you guys got any
Y'all got,
inside?
other than everybody, you know, getting ready to, other than John Carter, we did Mayshine now. Alright, so y'all can't be jealous of what we got making in here.
You're cutting out just a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Am I there?
Yep, you're right.
Nice. Alright, now listen here. Y'all can't be jealous of what we're making in here. But we made a lasagna out of tortilla shells. You put a little pasta sauce, alright, spread it around. You put a little sausage, spread that around, put a little cheese over top, then you put a little bit of pepperonis, either way you want to say it. Then you put another layer of tortillas, and anyways you stack it, and then cook it in the microwave for a good amount of time. Bring it out, everything melts together. Done.
That sounds like Olivia's recipe. I think that's what she had on there this turn. I think so.
Yeah. 2 minutes! She gave us 5 seconds. We go here and spit it out. Yeah, she let us know about that recipe, and we're like, man, we gotta make it. It took about, yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, it took about 4 of us to make it, and so I think it'll be alright. I think it'll be good. You know, I feel like we piled a lot of meat in it just because, you know, we gotta get that protein in. And you know, meat lovers lasagna. Meat lovers lasagna. It's almost like a pizza. 1 minute!
1 minute! Pass it back!
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me.
Last one. Wow. Oh, no. Even if we don't have a song to thank people when they're leaving. Yeah. That's a pretty good song, I think. No. Noggy. 1, 2, 3. Oh, say can you see what so proudly we hear at the twilight last gleaming, whose blood stripes and bright stars through the veil of the sun, for the
Right on time. Oh man, so all people don't want dying to know about the cicadas. What happened? They came out today, right? Or are they coming out tomorrow?
The cicadas, I haven't seen a cicada. He says he hasn't heard them. But according to the ladies on The View, we're going to be overtaken with them, I think. And Twitter was talking about the zombie apocalypse.
Well, it's two different kinds of cicadas.
What'd you say, Tim?
It's two different kinds of cicadas that are coming out.
Different kinds of cicadas.
There's one that comes out every 17 years.
Oh,
and
we got the zombie cicadas, and then we got just the normal cicadas.
No, there's one that comes out every 17 years.
And one that comes out every 13 years.
And one that comes out every 13 years, and one of them's got some sort of disease.
A cicada STD.
A cicada STD. Causes hallucinations to the birds that eat them. Causes hallucinations to the birds.
Wow.
I know this is intense. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Man, getting that good news out there. That's awesome. You guys got any other stories on the outside? I kind of been busy all day. I missed the news today, so I got that for y'all.
Well,
but we do have.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I will. So, Russia came out today, and they said that Burisma has been behind many of the terror attacks that have taken place inside Moscow, and especially this last one, and they believe that the Biden regime is directly behind it. Big surprise there.
Man, that's crazy.
So, yeah. Well, yeah, because Putin, he called for, consequences for that. So, it's kind of unnerving because Putin tends to back up when he does.
Yeah. Man, if it's worse, usually.
Maybe you'll have to take out one of Biden's vacation homes.
I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying because Biden's always on vacation.
So, do y'all have your inspirational quote of the day?
Yes, we do. We have. Well, go ahead with the verse of the day. It's Psalm 71, verse 4 through 5.
Hey, Bonnie.
It's, deliver me, O God, out of the hand of the wicked, out of the hand of the unrighteous that are cruel, and the cruel men. For thou art my hope, and thou art my trust from my youth. And that's the verse of the day, Psalm 71, verse 4.
That's true.
We got
Good night,
I got a
Americans.
handful of quotes today here, too. And I got the first one here from Samuel Adams. He who is void of virtuous attachments in private life is, or is very soon will be, void of all regard for his country. There is seldom an instance of a man guilty of betraying his country who had not before lost the feeling of moral obligation in his private life actions. Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, that is good.
That's what we were talking about that today. Is where almost we've come as men, manhood anyway. Everybody likes to go to, how we better engineering and health, and we know how, the medical field is, very extremely advanced. But the cause of so much corruption and how we've fallen so far in, a country is because we've lost character. We've lost that men that are actually, have some kind of responsibility and understand what they even believe in anymore and what it even takes to be a man anymore. And we've fallen so far from what we were before because, we've given up so many responsibilities that a man ought to have to take care of his family and to, be a part of his community and be a part of his country. It's just a simple fact of what do I believe, what is right and wrong, has completely left our schools, left our society, and it has become
I'm so glad it's up. I saw it this afternoon, Dad. It looks great.
Thing that is almost frowned upon if you stand up and believe on, stand for what you believe.
And it's so sad, we've come so far as a country, and we are, I still believe the greatest country on earth, but yet we're falling so fast from our founding fathers and what this country was built on. And it's our fault. We can't blame it on anybody else. We can't blame it on people in Washington. We can't blame it on, these Democrats and all these different people. It's us. And it's men and those women that have dropped the ball and have failed is what we ought to be. What gives me hope is when I see y'all out there on Freedom Corner and all those that have risen to the occasion when our country was in need, when we were in a dark place. People like y'all have come out and have stood for what they believe and are unafraid of consequences and unafraid to sacrifice their time and sacrifice, their pleasures for just simply sharing what is right, sharing the news, sharing, that hope that there is still free Americans out there that believe in what we were built on and what the founding fathers, built our country upon. Still believe that the Lord hasn't forsaken us yet. We can still see a revival in this country, I believe. It's just we have to wake up to it. I believe the Christians are mainly what I put the blame on. These Christians have created this religion of just lacking in any kind of character, in any kind of ideal that they have to be put and put themselves into their communities in a way. That they have, basically hid themselves in their churches and said, no, we don't have to be in politics, we don't have to do these things because we just, stay in church and stay in our homes. We'll just let the rest of the country burn as we just play church. And it's a sad thing. But yeah, kind of to capitalize on that before it gets us this 1 minute warning here. I'm reading a book that Dietrich Bonhoeffer wrote called The Cost of Discipleship. And just in the beginning, they lay out a few quotes of him and what he believed. He believed the church has a responsibility to stand against wickedness and to stand for innocence, right? And one of his quotes is, the church has a duty to call the state to account for its actions. And in the end, if the state didn't do the right thing, it was the duty of the church to oppose it with action. And this is a man who ultimately, he gives his life, he dies a martyr for Jesus and for the German people. And just that he felt like he was called. He actually fled Germany at one point, and then came back. He's like, who am I to think that I should have any part in reconciling the church after this time of trouble if I did not go through the sorrows and the suffering with my people? And that's the type of character.
You have 1 minute remaining.
They need that character that no matter what, if it's right, they're going to stand on it and they're going to die on it. And if they're willing to do that, there will be freedom. That is what it costs. It costs them their lives, it costs them their blood, it costs them everything they have. And if America's willing to pay that again, you'll be free again. But if not, you will purchase security for chains and slavery. And all righty, yeah. We'll see y'all tomorrow, I guess.
All right, thank you so much, boys. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yes.
All righty, see y'all.
Love you.
Thank you for using.
Okay, almost doesn't count. Almost.
That's true. That is so true.
Thanks, Tammy. Freaking Loretta.
Thanks. Before we do our last song and get our last high kicks with the girls, I just wanted to say that our moderator, Deb, who also runs our website, 4Ashli.com, has put up Jessica Watkins' book, and you can go check that out at 4Ashli.com /tale/. It's very interesting, so go check it out.
So, we already had it up
Come on, Sarah. Come on, Peyton. Gotta get some right here, girl.
If tomorrow just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA. Well, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
All the way.
USA.
All the way.
USA.
All the way.
Thank you guys for joining us on another beautiful evening here on Freedom Corner.
We're gonna miss you, ladies. We're gonna be very sad, but we're so glad that you're here.
We'll be back. All right, we're gonna miss you.
Okay, Arnie.
And you guys just pray for us, and we will pray for you, and pray for the girls to have a safe trip home.
Yeah.
We will see you guys tomorrow night.
Freedom Corner Gang Speaks.
Power on.
Thank you for watching.
Night, Miss
us on
Katie.
YouTube, Rumble, and Gutter. Say your prayers and let the ladybugs fly.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. And we will see you guys tomorrow night. We love you so much. Pray for us as we pray for you. Good night, guys.
Okay, we did.